it's Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another Top Tip Tuesday. So, Tuesdays are the days when I give you little hints and tips on how to do various things. And today I have two tips. My main tip is around masking. Now, I think I've done this before, but it's always useful to have a quick refresh. So this is one of the stamp sets that will be available from the 3rd of January at my online store. Remember, there's a link to that in the description bar below. And it's one of the celebration items, which means it's free. All you have to do is spend £45, and then you get to pick anything from the celebration brochure. I can't show you the inside. I can show you the outside. Can't show you the inside, but you get to pick anything from this that is a level 1 for £45 and a level 2 for £90. Obviously, if you're spending £90, you could also choose 2 level 1s. But I thought this was a great set to talk about masking. So I've made this little card. As it happens, this also shows how you can spend £45 or thereabouts to earn the stamp set. So everything that I've used on here, with the exception of the adhesive, comes to £46.25, which means that you can buy that and get this free. Bargain! Love a bargain! So let me show you how I made this. I may not make quite so many friends because it does take a while, but starting with a piece of Whisper White cardstock and the back of an thank you for your order, and just found the paper cut that I made on my finger. I've mounted up the large stamp, and I'm going to grab that I have now buried my crumb cake card, and the first thing I am going to do is grab a post-it note or sticky note. Post-it notes, other sticky notes are available, and ink up my stamp and stamp it so that the sticky bit is at the bottom, and just stamp straight onto that, and there we have the beginning of our mask. And then all I do is go round with my paper snips and cut inside the line of the stamped image. You want to go slightly inside the line because you then get a cleaner edge to your mask, and I will show you what I mean by that in a moment. So I'm not going to put you through the agony of me cutting all of this. I just want to show you the basic idea. So we're going to cut off his ears, and the reason we're cutting off his ears is because they're solid. So when we stamp over anything that's solid, we don't need to worry that it's going to be seen. So can you see what I've done? So we've got a rather strange shaped meerkat, and I've left behind the bulk of the stamped image. So you do that. Now, I've done it a number of times because I want to build up my pattern. I've got one back here as well. So I've done it 3 times, and I've cut one of them into 2. And then all we do is start building. Let me pop those down so that I've got them to hand. Don't need that for the moment. And grab my card base, well, my card mat, I should say. This is one of my usual mats. I'll have the measurements over on my website, and as ever, that is also linked below. So stamp your first image, and there we have our lovely meerkats, and then cover up the image that we've just stamped. Now, I find that it's easier to get one of the heads in place and then get one of the others in place, and then everything else sort of, nearly, pretty much, except now, pretty much falls into place. Let's try lining him up and lining him up. and then the middle will happen. And then take your ink pad, your stamp again, and kind of go just next to them. Now one of them is going to fall off the edge, we don't mind. And then come in this side as well. And cover up. And don't worry, I'm not going to go and do the whole thing because it's almost as exciting as watching paint dry. So these are the ones that I've done and then cut in half, well not strictly in half, in 2/5 if one's being exact. And then I'm going to come in again and moving up the page, just stamp and stamp, and then again we're going to move our little sticky notes. So that's that chappy there with his little friend, and then let's bring in the big gun, and I'll just stamp one more time just to show you how it all works. So this time I'm going to make sure I'm inside all of the sticky notes. Stamp again, and that's it done. Now it looks like an absolute mess at the moment, but I will need this again, so I'll just close it up for the moment. When you peel off your sticky notes, and be careful because you can reuse them, so you peel off your sticky notes and then you get all of your chums. And because you've cut your sticky notes really tight, you don't get the white halo, yes, result. Now, while I've got my crumb cake out, I'm just going to stamp the inside of the card in crumb cake and also the envelope. So just pop the single meerkat there, and again on the envelope just stamp him as well. Now I don't need the crumb cake anymore, and this time I'm going to make this a more masculine card. So, oh, I know what I didn't bring out. A scrap of Whisper White. Let me grab a scrap of Whisper White. So there we go. And bring back in my friends, and I've got my light crumb cake blend, and I'm just going to, actually I'll use the other end, I'm just going to colour in a couple of these chaps. Now I haven't stamped as many of them this time, purely because it will be very, very, very dull for you guys. So that's one meerkat. Let's colour in this one here as well. And the only thing I need to be careful of is to not colour his teeth. And let's do this one over here. Now, I've not done a brilliant job of stamping, but I can add some colour into the bits that I missed. I just didn't ink up the stamp properly. But it's fine. If you have a Stampin' Right marker, that would be a great moment to come in and just draw in the bits that I haven't stamped particularly well. So those are our little meerkats. And then I'm going to grab a Night of Navy ink pad and the Happy Birthday to a stand-up friend. And it doesn't look completely square. Yeah, well, just stamp that there. And then on the inside, from all of us, close that up. Now the original one I did in Lovely Lipstick, but now I'm, as you can see, doing a male version. Just make sure that's dry. Grab my mini trimmer. Now remember, this is available to any demonstrator now, and is a free item during celebration if you join my team. You can get it now if you join my team by adding it to the to your starter kit, and it comes with a pack of designer series paper, and it's just a sample pack of some of the designer series papers, and there's 4 of each one, so you can actually do a class. You can do a project example and then run a class for 3 of your friends. Okay, so let's just trim this down and then pop it all together. So I'm just going to flag the end just by cutting into the centre from the middle and then, whoops, from the corners. There we go. Then grab some dimensionals, which were on my desk. There we are. I've buried them again. Well, there's a surprise. When do I not bury my dimensionals? Card blank. This is cut long and thin from an A4 piece of cardstock. It's just a half sheet. You can cut it so that it folds that way, and again it's just a half piece. Liquid adhesive, back of my liner, and I'm just going to go around the outside. You really don't need very much of the multi-purpose liquid adhesive, which is available in Europe. Hurrah! We have a different item number from the rest of the world, but it is available. I'll have that listed in my, oops, don't take the lid off because it already is. I'll have that listed in the list of items that I've used. As I say, I've not included adhesive in my products list value for the free item, because I'm working on the premise that you probably have adhesive. But obviously that would then help you towards your second item if you were to need the adhesives as well. So dimensionals on the back of that, pop it down, and I've used the Happiness Blooms enamel dots for embellishment, and all I've done is add 1, 2, 3. I like triangles and I like odd numbers. So that is the one we've just made, and this is the one we made earlier. So as you can see, masculine, feminine, but basically the same card. Yes, there's more people on, or meerkats on this one, but there you go. A quick card, quick bit of introduction to masking. I love masking as a technique. It is so easy to do once you get the hang of it, and really cheap to do because all you need is sticky notes. Anyway, I hope you found that useful, interesting, and all those good things. As I say, the key to Celebration is multiples of £45. So for every £45 you spend, a level 1 item is yours to pick. And if you spend £90, you either get 2 level 1 or 1 level 2. Link to my website is below. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you don't already do so. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave those below. They're below the description bar, and I will get back to you in the next week or so, bearing in mind we've got Christmas coming up, maybe also more than in a week. Thank you very much indeed, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye!